Hello, happy Sunday. It is time for your focus for the week tarot video, where we look at 3 tarot cards to see what you can think about and focus your energy and your thoughts on as you go throughout this coming week. This video is for the week of Sunday, August 27th, 2017. I can't believe we're already at the end of August and coming up to September in this week, so that's pretty exciting. So I've already shuffled up the cards, divided them into 3 stacks. I'll just choose the first card off of each stack for your reading. Okay, so the first card that you got this week is the High Priestess. This is a wonderful card. It's a great reminder. This is all about knowing that the answers to your questions are inside of you. That means no one else can tell you what you should do or what you should think or which decision you should make. This is really about looking inward and deciding and knowing the answer, knowing what's best for you or what's right for you or what feels good for you. And oftentimes we feel like, well, I just want to choose the right decision or the best decision. So I'm going to look externally to try and figure out what that answer is, like what have most people done or what have successful people done. But really, that may or may not work for you. And so the way to be 100% sure that you're choosing the best decision for you is to really look inward and really listen to your intuition and decide what's right for me personally in this decision. And then stick with that decision and go forward. And yes, there may be some problems, or yes, there may be some unexpected obstacles, but you can know that you chose the decision that your intuition was guiding you towards. Okay, the next card that you got this week is the Two of Wands in reverse. So when we look at the wands, the Two of Wands upright, we see someone kind of standing in between these 2 wands, looking out, holding this world or this globe in the hand and looking out to see everything that's out there. Again, I think this week you might be kind of weighing some choices or making a decision. You got this card in reverse. So I don't think that you might feel like this decision is really like, I could do this or I could do that. You might kind of feel like it actually might be draining your energy a little bit, and it might actually not, you might not be very enthusiastic about either one of the decisions. You might not think, this opens up a world of opportunity for me when I make this choice. It might not feel that way. And that's okay. I mean, we all have some decisions that we would rather not make, or decisions where we feel like, wow, I really don't like either of the potential outcomes. So just acknowledging that it doesn't have to be the best thing or it doesn't have to be perfect, just acknowledging that as long as you're following your intuition and choosing what's right for you and what makes you feel good and what makes you feel confident and complete, not necessarily what someone else would choose, not what your friend would choose or not what your mom would choose. It's really about looking at the choices that you have, recognizing it might not give you a lot of energy, it might not make you feel very enthusiastic or passionate, but still, if you don't make the decision, it's possible that the decision will be made for you outside of your control and not in a way you would choose. So it's definitely your decision to make, and it's definitely your choice. It's a reverse since I turned this one upside down, to call upon, look inward and call upon your intuition. I see a lot of symmetry between these 2 cards here, with the figure in the middle and then the 2, in this case we have 2 pillars, and in this case we have the 2 wands. So I do think there's some kind of through line here about you going forward this week and knowing that you kind of need to choose or want to choose how you want to proceed with whatever it is that you're dealing with this week. The third card that you got is the Moon, and you got this card in reverse as well, and we have those 2 shapes here on either side again. I've been thinking about this card a lot lately, so I was wondering if it would come up in any readings. The reason why I've been thinking about it is because I've heard over the last couple of days the expression, the one you feed, and that refers to the parable or the story of we have some wolves inside of us generous, and whichever one is greedy and wants to get ahead, and the other is kind. And I'm paraphrasing a lot here, but the child who's being explained these two wolves by the grandfather says, "Oh, Grandpa, which one wins? Which one of these wolves survives?" And the answer is the one you feed. So when I see these two wolves here on this card with the moon, it reminds me of that expression. Whatever we feed, whatever we give attention to and give energy to within ourselves, that's kind of what we will put out, and what we will provide, and what we will receive. You got this card in reverse. So again, along with the idea of the Two of Wands in reverse, where it felt like an energy, that this wasn't really an exciting or enthusiastic choice, since you got the Moon card in reverse, it seems like you might have doubts about your own control over this, or your own options over this. You might have, you might not feel like you get to choose. But you do get to choose, right? I mean, you are the person who runs your life and who leads your life. So even if you don't get to choose the situation that you're in right now, or even if you don't get to choose the two potential outcomes, you do get to choose your thoughts and your reactions. You get to choose if you decide, well, this is terrible, so I am just gonna shut down and cry, and I'm just gonna be grumpy about it. That's your choice. You don't have to choose that. You could say, well, this is terrible, but it is what it is, and so I am just going to make the best of it. I'm going to try to maintain a neutral opinion about it so that it doesn't drag me down, so that you're not feeding the negative animal, you're feeding the more realistic, or I'm not asking you to be positive about a negative choice, but you can choose to be neutral about it. You can also choose to look for a silver lining. You can choose to say, what can I learn from this, even though I would have never chosen to put myself in this situation, or I would have never chosen to be here where I am right now, or deal with what I'm dealing with right now. But what can I learn from this? What can I gain from this? What can I use from this to help someone else so that they don't have to be in the situation that I am in right now? So I do think that this week, for some of you right now, you might be kind of grappling with something that you'd rather not be, and I'm really sorry to hear that, and I'm wishing you the best and the most success. I also think that you can look inward to find out how you want to deal with this situation, and remember that you choose the way that you will move on this path through this dark time right now, or through this doubtful time right now. You can certainly choose your demeanor, you can choose your actions, you can choose the thoughts that you decide to keep thinking, and you can choose which thoughts you just will dismiss immediately once they pop into your mind. So I hope that helps you as you go through the week this week, and as you're thinking about how you're going to make this decision and move forward. When we look at your numbers this week, you got the moon, which is the 18, you got the 2, so that's 2, so that's 20, and the high priestess is another 2, so 22. It's interesting because some people say 22 is a number of service. So a lot of times when we're in ourselves, we're really focused on our own situation and our own disappointments. Some advice is, well, see how you can help someone else. And I definitely think that puts a contrast into whatever we're doing right now. So that might be something that you look to see. When I compare my situation to someone else's, am I actually in a really good place where before I was complaining about it or kind of disappointed? So service is one thing. When we add the 2 and 2 together, we do get 4. 4 is the number of foundation and structure, and having a solid foundation to move forward on. So again, I would say look at your situation, look at the decision that you're making right now, and figure out how can this be a foundation for you to propel yourself forward so that you can get, in the bigger picture, in the long run, more of what you want, more of exactly how you want. So hopefully that helps. Thank you so much for watching. I really enjoyed doing this for you, so I hope you enjoy it, and I hope it helps and gives you something to think about and focus on as you go throughout the week. If you have any feedback, please leave it in the comments or reply to the email and let me know. And if you'd like to book some time with me, I'd love to jump on a video chat with you, and we can look at your situation and come up with some thoughts and ideas and plans and advice for you based on what cards you pull. So thanks again for watching, and I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.